Last night I finally got round to watching Uncut Gems, the prominently Oscar-snubbed film by the Safdie Brothers and starring Adam Sandler. It's about a New York jewelry jeweler, Howard Ratner, who is a compulsive gambler and who has recently acquired a black opal, which has been excavated in Ethiopia, which he plans to put on sale at an auction house and which he hopes will sell for $1 million. He also has various other irons in the fire. He owes a huge amount of money to a loan shark who it turns out is his own brother-in-law. He's doing a deal with the basketball player Kevin Garnett, who plays himself, who is interested in the opal. Everything that he seems to get hold of as security, he goes and pawns for gambling money, and he spends tens of thousands gambling on basketball. It's a good film, but there's a big but. I've said on the podcast and on Twitter, in fact every medium that Cinema Limbo has reached apart from this, that the worst film I saw in the last decade was Kingsman: The Secret Service, and as I was watching it, it made me feel physically ill for all sorts of reasons that I've articulated before. This film also provoked a physical reaction from me. It gave me a tension headache because the tone of it and the mood of it is so highly strung and so frenzied. Everyone is shouting over each other all the time, and there is a constant deluge of this oddly discordant electronic music, which I really didn't like, so that everything is constantly bombarding you. And as someone with an anxiety disorder, that's not great. That's not great, Don. Combined with the fact that Howard himself is a total car crash of a human being who is in the midst of divorcing his wife, is having problems with his mistress. He is this whirlwind of carefree chaos. It made it very hard to appreciate the film because within the first 20 minutes, I felt, oh no, this film is like having a heart attack. This is not going to be good for me. And after the movie, I had to take painkillers and go to bed because it was so intense. But as a story, it's like a jumble of events, a continuous tumbling through of events as we follow this character over a few days. Passover 2012, which relates back to the basketball and the playoff season at the time. It has to be said that Adam Sandler's performance as Howard is absolutely fantastic. I've said a number of times that Punch Drunk Love is a masterpiece, that ironically it's an amazing depiction of what it's like to have an anxiety disorder, and this movie is exactly what it's like. Induces one. So he's absolutely fantastic in this and in both films, and he really should have been Oscar nominated for it. The supporting cast is generally very good. A lot of them are non-professionals. The Safdie Brothers, whose work I hadn't seen before, are fine writers and directors, very focused on character, and the film is packed with incident to the extent that it's dizzying to try and comprehend as it's fired at you. The film is like being shot in the face with plot. But the tone of it and the atmosphere of it is so high-strung, it's so frenzied, it is so constantly in your face, and so constantly bombarding you with noise and sound and edit and everything all at once. It's exhausting. It's not a film that I think I'd want to watch again because I don't want to put myself through it. If you can cope with this kind of bombardment, I would recommend it, but it might perhaps be best absorbed in small doses.